This talk is designed to reinvent the future of financial literacy. I'm going to be using the word "you" here as if I were talking to all 34 million Canadians. So you're going to walk away today with a sobering look into the financial future that we are facing. I'm going to share some stories that are going to shock you. Some of these stories are going to be very encouraging, some of these stories are going to be very scary. The one thing I'm not going to do is treat you like an idiot and sugarcoat everything because I have too much respect for you for being here today. I believe you should hear the things that sometimes the mainstream financial world tends to shy away from. Will my financial advisor agree with everything you present today? The answer is I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because there is so much vested interest. There are some very, very good financial planners, and then there are some very, very bad financial planners. So I don't know. If they're open-minded, they're going to like it. Maybe they are part of the group that really is interested in helping people. Are you going to share investment scams you come across? The answer is absolutely, but I'm going to discuss a wide range of things. A lot of people are talking about whether gold's in a bubble right now. In order for gold to be in the bubble right now, gold has to be at $20,000 an ounce to account for the money. So the financial world is changing faster than we can keep up. But the truth is we don't need to keep up. What we need to do, and I want to drill that in everybody right now, is relearn the fundamentals of wealth. The lessons of the past sometimes teach us where we need to go in the future. So with that in mind, I'd like to take you back to when I was 10 years old.
Which one were you?
I remember when I was a kid and when I was 10 years old, and I loved watching wrestling in the 1970s and the 1980s. And as I was watching it, I kept on thinking to myself that there's something not quite right with what I was seeing. See, today everybody knows that wrestling is fake and it's just a very sophisticated soap opera. But back then, nobody wanted to admit to the worst kept secret. But one day, Vince McMahon came on public television, he did everything, and he said that the WWE was going to reinvent new storylines and spice up the show. And when he did this, he stopped treating us like fools, his fans like fools, and he started treating us with respect. Now, WrestleMania is one of the most watched events every single year. The financial industry is just like the wrestling industry was back in the 70s and 80s. It's almost completely fake, and nobody wants to be the first one to admit it. What most people call the financial markets is nothing more than gambling casinos where your money goes up and down like a yo-yo. And instead of wrestlers and commentaries, you've got car dealers and pit bosses disguised as financial planners, and they in turn charge you for their services by placing bets on your behalf. It doesn't matter if it's a stock market, or if it's the bond market, or real estate market, or some exempt market. These markets are nothing more, or little more than roulette wheels and crap tables. Financial planners will charge you a management expense ratio fee for managing your money, and it doesn't matter if your money goes up or if it drops in value, the fee still gets paid. But are the table odds stacked against the investing public? See, there's so much vested interest in the financial institutions keeping you playing at their financial casinos because they make more money when you play longer. So like a casino, some people win big money and some people lose money, or they don't make money quickly enough so they can retire faster. What most Canadians do not realize is that the majority of financial planners may not be providing you with the best financial options because they are not allowed to. Due to security regulations or the investment firm that they operate under, certain financial advisors may not be able to provide you with the best options for your particular financial situation. So in some cases, if you have a license to sell a product in one financial area, you're not allowed to sell a financial product in another area, even if you have a license to do so. And I'll give you an example. If you have your Canadian securities, if you take the Canadian securities course, and you decide that you're going to join up with an investment firm, say like Investors Group or something like that, you cannot go, even though you qualify to, you can't go and sell exempt market products. As you can tell, there's a little bit of competition going on. How many people here have a financial advisor, they are a financial advisor, or they know a financial advisor? I hope that's everyone. Please put up your hands. Okay, here's the question. How many people here believe with all their hearts that if this financial advisor knew about an investment product which was better than anything they had to offer, they would tell you about it and where to get it, even though they would not get a commission? No hands go up.
No.
One hand goes up. So like the wrestling business, wouldn't the financial industry be a lot more profitable if it just admitted everything was rigged down to the fiat currencies like the Canadian and US dollars that we all work for, which are financially backed by nothing? I'm not against financial planners, and I'm not against financial markets, I'm not against casinos, and I'm not against gambling. They all serve a purpose. What I am against is compulsive gamblers that bet their entire fortune on markets they cannot control, or gamblers who do not get out when they should. So a lot of baby boomers have already lost their investment money twice. They lost it once during the dot-com bubble, and you can see that happening up here, and they lost it again during the financial crash of 2008. The difference between a compulsive gambler and an investor is that an investor knows when to get out before his luck runs out. Which leads me to a conclusion. If you don't do your own financial thinking, someone else is going to do your financial thinking for you. And whether that someone else is a banker or a financial advisor or an insurance advisor or a real estate investor or someone else, the more I talk to these people, the more they disagree with each other. Think about that. They disagree with each other. And that's a problem. Because I think if anyone turns on the news, we all know that there are some very, very hard times ahead. And we need to start getting prepared for these things, because if we don't get prepared for them, we're going to run into problems. There's a financial storm that is brewing that will possibly make the last financial crisis seem like a little speed bump on the road to disaster. But if you get prepared for the coming future events, you're likely going to see tremendous wealth come towards you. So you don't have to believe a word I say. I can only speak to you from my own experiences and my own opinions. That doesn't make me right, and it doesn't make me wrong. It doesn't make me a good person, and it does not make me a bad person. It just means I'm sharing with you what I believe. I'm sharing you what I believe is the truth. My opinion can be changed. You know, that's the one thing. But if anything I say makes sense to you, you're thinking to yourself, this resonates with me, I encourage you to talk to me more about it or investigate it yourself. And if anything I say doesn't make sense, you're welcome to disregard it. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. In the last 15 years, we've gone through a dot-com bubble. We've had companies like Enron and WorldCom destroying their stocks and the investors behind them. We've had the attacks of September the 11th, supply and demand and price shocks. Major invasion wars costing over $1 trillion. Weapons of mass destructions that just never seem to materialize. We have a massive subprime mortgage meltdown that sent the world financial markets into a nosedive, and we'll be talking a little bit about that later. We have governments bailing out companies too big to fail. You know, as of today, I think we should say governments bailing out countries too big to fail. We have the United States printing dollars out of thin air, and I'll talk about that a little bit later today. We have people like Bernie Madoff scamming people. We have helicopter Ben Bernanke and the Federal Reserve with their quantitative easing. We have the U.S. once again raising up their debt ceiling. We have the U.S. They've had their credit rating lowered for the first time. We have all these countries and a bunch more that are facing financial struggles. And then we have all these scams and scandals of all shapes and sizes. Those are the elephants that have run us over in the last 15 years. But it's the elephants that are getting ready to charge at us that we need to start getting prepared for.